All right, guys. It is Friday, July. I don't know what it is. We're nearing the end of July. I think it's like the 25th. Yes, it's the 25th of July. And the week has gone by quickly for me. It's been busy. It hasn't been too bad, but we always wish for the weekend to get here soon, don't we? And it does in many ways. But why do we want things to get here so much faster? We're leaving so much on the table when we can't appreciate each and every day for what it is, and maybe just take a different perspective, maybe take a different view on everything that we take for granted as being laborious, as being hardship. When in fact it's really not. We just don't like we just don't like being beholden to anybody else and having to clock in and be accountable. None of us like that. But I don't know that any of us really would know what it's like to have total freedom, right? We all think that we want that. And at the same time, freedom as we generally think of it, in the terms we'd like to think of it, might be kind of boring. You know, it's the routines, it's the steadiness, it's the showing up, using our hands or our minds for the purpose of somebody or something else that actually makes life worth living. That is not the topic of my video today, by the way. I just happen to be thinking of this as I sat here and hit record. Sometimes I never know what's going to come out of my mouth. And as disorganized as that sounds, that's kind of the way I like it to be. Sometimes those are my better videos. But what I'm saying here kind of goes along with the quote of the day, which I was going to share at the end of the video. But I'm going to give it to you now. It's by Jean-Paul Sartre. He said, "Freedom is what you do with what's been done to you." While it doesn't quite exactly go along with what I said, I might as well just speak on it for a moment. We've all had things done to us. They can either capture our attention, which is what I am going to be talking about. They can either capture our attention and enslave our minds, or we can take it and do something with it and proclaim agency, thereby giving us some form of freedom, right? What do you have going on in your life right now that you believe has you handcuffed? And a lot of people, they really enjoy being a victim. They really do. And some people are legitimately victims of one thing or another. I'm thinking of particular people right now who I really care about, who are bona fide victims of someone else's evil machinations. And that's the truth. And that happens the world over every single day, every minute of every hour, somewhere. And it's probably happened to you. It's happened to me. And some people just get it harder than others. But it doesn't have to be something that imprisons you for the rest of your life. My stomach is growling. I don't normally eat breakfast, but I'm going to tell you something. I really want Dunkin' Donuts or something this morning. And Dunkin' Donuts is never satisfying, by the way. Anyway, going back to my conversation here. So you don't have to be in prison the rest of your life, mentally, emotionally, or whatever the case might be. You can actually do something with it. And we live in such a great time whereby we have resources where we can tap into a community of people who are like-minded, who have shared experiences, who can tell you what they've done. Now this can go any way you want it to go, right? There are those who will add to the poison that you've already had to swallow, and they'll wallow in the misery with you. They want you to join them. They want you to get in the mud with them. Or you can find people who are willing to give you a hand and help you out of the mire. This is who you want to surround yourself with. These are the people you want to give your attention to. Okay? Which is a perfect segue into today's topic. I want to talk about attention. And we all have, I guarantee you, if I had someone in the seat next to me and we were doing like a podcast, I guarantee you there's not a one of us who wouldn't have really strong opinions about the word and the concept of attention. Because there's not a single one of us who don't want attention in some way or another. There's levels to all of this. We're trying to get it, or we're frustrated by the amount that other people demand. And I tell you what prompted this to begin with. I'm not above wanting attention. All right? I need to say that at first. We all need, to some degree, we all need attention. Most of us don't need it as much as we would like. But I get frustrated every single day by the demands put on us by everyone around us who just can't get enough. And I think it's gotten to the point where people don't even realize that this is what they're pleading for day in and day out. You know, I picked a very different place to make this car vlog today. Thinking I was escaping lawnmowers, blowers, edgers. No, someone just started up behind me. Doesn't matter where I go. I tell you what, man. The thing about Florida is that because of the weather conditions, it goes year round. Like up north, the growth slows down here too. Don't get me wrong. In the fall and the winter, your grass slows down. You don't even need to mow it for months sometimes. But there's always some kind of landscaping going on. Going back to my subject though. So here's where I start thinking about this the most. When I go eat lunch every day, I eat at this one particular Subway most days of the week, unless I'm just not on that side of town. And when I go into Subway, you know, so you have lines and you have all this seating. I'll stand in line and there's always someone behind me or in front of me who's got to be on their phone the whole time. You can see them walking into the store and they're on their phone before they get in. They're on their phone in the car. They're on their phone on the way in, and they're on their phone the entire time. And it just screams neediness. I always wonder, like, how do you have someone in your life that wants to talk to you that much? It's not a jealousy issue. I'm just annoyed. Because these people act completely oblivious to everyone around them. But they have got the attention of someone, and the other person may think the same thing of them. It might be complete. I have a feeling it is completely mutual, by the way. And they're loud. It's never quiet. These people will not wear earbuds. I oftentimes wish I just had the money to buy so many different pairs of earbuds and hand them out to people and go, you know, they make these there's this really nifty invention. It's called an earbud. You plug it into your phone or you sync it up to your phone and you can hear everything through this device better than you're hearing it now. No, they know. They probably have those things. They choose not to use them because then everybody couldn't see how important they are. Somebody wants to talk to them. And you might say, well, Greg, you don't know that's what they're really thinking. No, you're right. You're right, but I have a hunch. I've seen it too many times. And here's something I've noticed. I might have to put my microphone down to do this. Here's something I've noticed. This seems to be catching on. I've seen a rash of people start to do this now with their phone. They'll be on it, their microphones are turned way up, and they'll do this. They'll stick it in their shirt now. This is what they do. This is going on all the time now. Is this a thing? Kind of like how guys pull their pants halfway down their butt. This is what they're doing. And they love to be seen doing this. And they've got to stay on their phone the entire time. This happens in BioLife too. In BioLife, you stand in line to go through the process, or you lay in the bed for them to be able to draw blood and plasma, or process it, however they term that. And no matter how many signs there are that you're not supposed to be on your phone like that, you have to wear devices in your ear. People still do it anyway because you won't take that away from them. And I just don't understand why you think you need that kind of attention, or why you want it that much. And I don't understand how there are people out there who are willing to support that. They have to be just like them. Okay? They have to be just like them. And I like, you know, we all need some kind of attention. We need attention from our spouses. We to some degree. You know what I mean? We can't be, so, I mean, there's, like I said, there's levels. You can't be so needy that you're selfish. There are things that need to be attended to. You need to pay attention to your bills that come in. And I know this because I cut people's power off because they refuse to acknowledge that they need to make a payment. Okay? You need to pay attention to your responsibilities. You need to pay attention to what others need from you. But you're not anyone's slave. You're not there just to serve everyone else. Who are you giving too much attention to? What are you giving too much attention to? What has captured it? The world demands so much from us. And it's not a matter of, are you going to hand over this to something or somebody? You have to. That's just the way life is. But you have to be choosy. People in this world are extremely negative, and they want your ear. They want your mind, and they want to vent, and they demand that you respond. This is one of the places where I draw a line in the sand. I say, nope, you're not getting it from me. Now, I don't do this every time, and the closer someone is to you, the harder it is to do that. But you have to get to a place, and you learn this eventually, I think, that you learn this, and you make up your mind to go, you know, from now on, when someone's trying to prompt me to react to them, I have to understand this is what they want. And I'm no longer going to give my energy and my focus to people when they're being negative. You know how powerful that is? It's extremely powerful. When you claim agency and you say no to them, and you don't even have to audibly say that, you can turn and walk away. I have to do this all the time. People will try to lull you in, or maybe it's a much more violent attempt. They'll try to snag you in, and I demand you to answer me now, and they just desperately want your attention. My response to that is no response. Some people say there's a difference between reacting and responding, and you just need to respond, not react. Sometimes I don't even respond, period. It's not worth my attention. And I turn my back and I walk away, and I don't feel bad about it. I actually feel really good. It's very powerful. It instills confidence. It means that you have a choice. And I've done that plenty of times. Or the best, if you are going to respond, you just don't give them exactly what they want. There's too many people walking around entitled and they believe that everyone owes them something, but especially attention. And you cannot be sucked into that game. You've got to start making up your mind that you're no longer going to let people control you like this. There are some things worth giving your attention to, and that's what you have to think about. This is where you get to decide what's really important, what's worth your time. Is the juice worth the squeeze? Right? Let me take a drink of water here. You have to understand that once you give something away like that, you can't get it back. There's no do-overs. There's no moving your palm back to home and starting from scratch. You just can't do it. And once you get a hold of this, you kind of get yourself back is what you do. And so stop giving all of your attention to people who don't deserve it. When they're being negative to you, they're mistreating you. Turn around, walk away. Or if you are going to respond, say, listen, I'm going to need time to think about that. We'll get back to this later. Or that doesn't deserve a response other than this. That's what you have to do. And the other thing is, on the flip side of it, is what are you trying to get, or what or who are you trying to get attention from? Are you one of those people? Stop doing that. You don't need the validation of everyone else in your life all the time. You don't need to expect others to meet your needs on a constant basis. You have to pull through for yourself. You have to make up your mind that you can do for yourself what you've been asking everyone else to pony up for. Now, is it nice when others pay attention to you and give it to you in the way you like? Yes, but you have to be careful with this, because you might get more than you bargained for. All right? And I've seen people do this all the time. They're so hungry for attention. Someone gives it to them, and they revel in it. They wallow in it, and before you know it, they're linked up inextricably to this person, and they can't get away from them. Because oftentimes, people who demand this from others lack social skills to be able to cope with an overwhelming force of personality. And if you find yourself in that position, it's really hard to get out. So you have to think about stuff like this. Social media is a master at grabbing people's attention. How much are you giving over to that? Control that. What are you looking at? What are you listening to? Who are you following? If it's not edifying to your character, to your life in any way whatsoever, stop. Focus on those things which are good. And I know so many people, you can tell what they watch because they're so negative. They're focused on the wrong things. They're giving their attention to issues that only bring people down. And they believe this empowers them. And you see it mostly on the political spectrum, right? On both sides of the aisle. Listen, I do lean one way versus another. Okay, I have very strong political opinions. However, I don't have to absorb myself in it and allow it to control me. It doesn't have to take over my whole personality. And I don't have to use it to try to control others. And I don't, you know what I mean? It's one of those things where I go, I know what I believe. I know what I believe politically, spiritually, and I contain it. I contain it rather than trying to force out on other people and get their attention, because, well, let's face it. I mean, that's what we rely upon to perpetuate something is the attention of other people, right? But what happens is we end up trying too hard. We become desperate and needy instead of just relaxing and enjoying life around us and not caring what other people think. But no, it becomes character eroding in so many people, no matter what we're talking about. It's not just politics. It's not just spirituality or religion or whatever you want to call it. It's not just that. It's anything. So on this issue of attention, there's so much that could be said. I could talk for an hour and a half on it. I'm not going to. But it's one of those things that really, really gripes me, is the way it's expected to be handed over. And I kind of wonder, going back to these people who stand in line and get on the phone and talk loudly to other people and just don't ever stop. And it doesn't look like they really understand what they're doing to other people. I do think they know. I think that they do it on purpose. I think that they have some kind of maybe unspoken pact with the individual that they're engaged with that says, this is what we do. We are like the two musketeers. We are going to conquer the world with our personal force. And it's just so annoying. I think what's happened is with social media, as attractive as it is, we love giving our mental energy, our attention, our focus. We love giving all of that to that. And we believe, I think subconsciously, we believe that if we like doing that with this particular thing, then others would like it from us. Am I saying that right? I know what I'm thinking. I'm trying to figure out if I've just said that right or not. I think we fooled ourselves that if other people are getting attention from us, they're trying to, and they're getting it from us, and we enjoy it, then other people would enjoy it when we're trying to get it from them. That's what I'm trying to say. And I just think that there's this degradation in culture where we just can't get enough. And so ask yourself, what are you giving your focus to? Who are you trying to rob it from? Look at it both ways. And are you needy? Are you needy in this way? Or are you allowing people to live their lives free of you trying to wrest their rest as in wrestle, not rest, like sleeping. But are you allowing people to live free from you trying to wrestle away their attention? Give it some thought. Give it some thought. I don't know. It's just what I've been thinking about. I have to think about it every day because whenever I go anywhere, it's incredible to me how much people feel entitled to take up everyone else's time and focus. And it's unnecessary. It's bratty. It's childish. It's entitlement. And it makes me sick. Yeah. Some people might say, well, Greg, you're trying to get attention with making YouTube videos. Yeah, but it's the right kind of attention. You know what I mean? It's something that's meant to help other people. It's something that's meant to be constructive. So all attention isn't bad. It's not wrong to give it to everything. I mean, it's not wrong. Yeah, it's not wrong to give to every single thing. You have to pick and choose. And that's the point of this whole video is, are you picking and choosing wisely? when it comes to attention. Are you giving it to the right people? Are you asking for it in the right ways? Okay. All right. I don't have a word of the day. I was going to try to get one. I was going to try to give you guys one, but I already gave you a quote of the day, but I just couldn't find one that I wanted to give you guys. I will give you a random trivia. Not random trivia. I'll give you a random, well, maybe it is trivia. Random thing I ran across the other day. I wrote it down. I just like it. It applies to nothing that I've talked about here so far. But here you go. Tank tops. You know what I'm talking about. Those sleeveless shirts with the straps, you know. We know what they are. I'm just explaining it in case there's any question whatsoever. Because there's going to be somebody out there that goes, no, that's not what a tank top is. No, we know what a tank top is, right? A tank top. I have lots of them. But I don't wear them around all the time. I usually wear them when I'm working out. But I have a few that I really do like a lot that I think I look good in. That I don't do it to get attention. I do it because I like the way they feel. I have a particular kind of tank top that feels so good on my skin, and I'll wear it out. Mainly because I do want to get a tan. I don't want a t-shirt tan. I'm a farmer's tan all the time. So at least I can get a little more of one. But I'll wear them when I'm working out. I have a few that I'll wear just, when I go out, do other things. But they're not a big accessory item for me. However, do you know where they came from? Do you know why they're called tank tops? That's because they resemble the swimming or the bathing suits that women wore back in the 1920s. And those were called tank suits. And the reason they were called tank suits is because swimming pools weren't called swimming pools, they were called swimming tanks. So, makes you wonder if the tank tops we're wearing are just girly clothes. I will say, women look better in them than men do, right? At least I think so. If I'm going to be looking at someone wearing a tank top, I prefer it to be an attractive woman. But hey, that's just my thing. That can capture my attention. Maybe it shouldn't too much, though. All right, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you've liked the video. I'm thinking about starting a playlist of car vlogs. It's not something I want to solely or exclusively do. But I've made a lot of car vlogs over time, and I'm thinking about going back and starting to retitle them and number them and making a complete playlist of my car vlogs. All right. If you have any questions, let me know. If there's anything you would love for me to talk on, I would love to hear it. I'll consider it, and maybe we can make it happen. If you've listened this far, because we're 28 minutes in now. If you've listened this far, I thank you very much for your attention. I do. I appreciate it. I hope it's been worth your time. I hope it's been constructive and, been meaningful. I've enjoyed it. I hope you have too. All right, guys. Like the video. If you like the video, it does help. It really does help, and people need to be reminded, because a lot of times I do like a lot of videos. I just forget to hit the thumbs up. But do that. It does help. And you know the rigmarole. Subscribe if you haven't done so. But share this with others. All right? And make sure you check back and see what I've got coming out tomorrow. Look at all my other videos. All right? I've enjoyed it. I'll see you guys later. In the meantime, be wise.